Hello and welcome back to our final presentation for our CIT class. And this presentation we're going to finish by talking about some of the most valuable points that we have learned in this course and why DevOps is very important and how it can be very successful depending on how it is implemented. So let's dive right into this. So first we want to talk about why DevOps is the right move. There's a lot of other methods out there that businesses can use. We've talked about previously the waterfall method, Agile and Scrum, and while those might be fitting for a different type of business, the reason we focus on DevOps is because it is very implicable in the IT industry. And why is this the right move to integrate our business like this in a loop of continuous testing, building, feedback? The flow and the culture that all of these attributes create, it promotes constant improvement towards growth, and not necessarily only towards growth. There's a lot that goes into that. When we focus on our customers and we plan, we build, we test in a continuous loop, that allows us to integrate feedback from our customers more efficiently, and it creates a better business for all of us. So visually, how does a DevOps integration help us? So we've talked previously about telemetry. Now what telemetry is visual health status. So what are we tracking and what are we looking at? So how is our data gathered? And telemetry helps us anticipate problems more, and it helps us increase consumer confidence by saying to the customer, hey, we're listening to you, we hear your concerns. This is what we are doing to address those concerns of yours. Value stream mapping, visual progress, we get to see how the workflow is going to be laid out, and this enables us to focus on priorities and manage total work in progress. So when we talk about DevOps integration and why it's so important, one thing that we've learned throughout this course is that telemetry, or the feedback, is very, very essential and crucial to the successful integration of these attributes. And that continues to lead us into receiving feedback. Why is feedback so important? Feedback loops, they are a key enabler for modern delivery. There's going to be feedback on almost everything that we do going forward throughout the rest of our lives, through our education and our personal experiences. Almost every implemented DevOps process should aim for accelerated response time and continuous release based on user requests and usage behavior. One thing that we as a group have really come to focus on and learn together is the importance of receiving feedback and how we implement that telemetry for better value for our customers. And a little off topic, but this could also be used not necessarily in DevOps integration, but throughout our entire lives through any experiences that we go through. We're going to receive feedback. How we use that feedback in our own lives is going to say a lot about who we are. We've talked about testing systems previously in the course. How do we test our code or our complex systems? So continuous testing is the key. It's very, very important. A test automation should be set up because it helps us to achieve consistency and it helps us create an agile and reliable process. Continuous testing should be integrated at the heart of any DevOps processes. Without continuous testing, there is no continuous delivery. These continuous testing and continuous delivery, they really go hand in hand with each other. So the DevOps flow and culture. So what does DevOps aim to teach us, or what does it help us change within ourselves? So DevOps is really a philosophy and a practice that's focused on agility, collaboration, and automation, all of which are keys to success in the business world or in any IT development. So the DevOps culture is a successful and proven response to the us versus them culture of development. We've gone through scenarios in the course where we have a situation where you have a testing team and a development team, and they're both kind of isolated, not necessarily in location, but their responsibilities are isolated. So when one needs to make a change, they don't necessarily consult the other team. And this leads to a gap between IT operations and development. This is the gap that DevOps aims to bridge or to close. And this leads us into teamwork synergy. Small teams delivering fast quality work. Teams are empowered and not dependent on other teams. There has to be constant communication, there has to be constant feedback, and everybody needs to not necessarily be personally involved in every aspect of the project, but everybody needs to be on the same page and everybody needs to be able to support each other when problems arise. This takes us into constant improvement towards growth. And in this course, we've really learned how to consistently improve ourselves that lead towards greater growth. We've built presentation after presentation. We've taken quiz after quiz. All of this enables us to achieve a higher level of consistency. And similarly, this is what DevOps aims to improve as well in the IT development and operations, where we all share knowledge, the processes are automated, there's security integration, and most importantly, long-term teams. So we are all invested in this from the very beginning through the very end, and possibly even farther through updating products or software or taking feedback and telemetry after it's been released and changing the product to meet the needs of the customer. And that's it. That sums up some of the most valuable points of DevOps integration and culture and flow. Those are some of the main points that stuck with our group throughout this course. Thank you for tuning in.